All right, we're going to go over AI thinking and research models. We're going to explore this new model of AI and LLM. Now, you might feel like, we just barely started getting these new AI models. ChatGPT only came out a couple of years ago, but that's not stopping anybody because as the language models have increased in size and complexity, researchers have continued to find ways to give them more of an ability to think through problems. Now we know they're not thinking, they don't understand anything, they're not intelligent, they don't know anything, and that the AIs don't even know when they're telling you something that's incorrect. But given that, this company DeepSeek released a model that almost crashed the market, almost destroyed Nvidia's stock prices. It was amazing to see that happening. And since then, all of the models have this new thinking and research mode. So if we take a look over here, you can see that standard language models, like you might be used to with the regular ChatGPT or the regular Gemini or whatever you're currently using, they're not doing a step by step. They're not using a step by step process. So if we look at this, let's say you go to Chat GPT 4.0 or Claude 3.5 Sonnet, they're going to have pattern based responses. They're going to give you direct output. They're designed to be very fast. It's impressive how quickly you can get answers from ChatGPT, even when you're in voice mode. And they're a little bit less expensive. But when we get into these new thinking models, you get something called chain of thought reasoning. And that's something that I really want to demonstrate here. And I have three models open over on the right side of my screen that you can see. So you can go through this and see. Let's go look at these examples, and I'll clean up that duplicate on the page before you get to see it later. So what can we do? Let's start with some mathematical problem solving. So just like you're going to do, I'm just going to copy this example. I'm going to put it into ChatGPT and let's see what it comes back with. So historically, these would be horribly incorrect. Now, is that correct? Do we even want to try and check everything that the AI does? If I say 24 times 17, all right, that's good. I think the latest version of ChatGPT will correctly count the number of letter R's in the word strawberry. But now I'm going to take the same question and I'm going to go down on the bottom here and switch to this deep research mode. So let's see what happens when I go deep research. Oh, look at that. It's asking me for confirmation. Let's see. I don't need, no, I have ChatGPT installed in here, although I just have a free account. Yes, I'd like to see the reasoning. I didn't expect this. Let's see what it does. So you can see right away, it didn't just give me the answer. ChatGPT at first just gave me the answer 408. But now what's happening is it's working through some thinking. Let's see if I can get this down here on the screen. Now this is interesting. I haven't seen this details before. And now what we're going to see, just like our DeepSeek example last week, if you saw that, it went through multiple steps trying to answer this question. So I'm going to let it keep thinking. Let me move it over here and let me jump over to Gemini. Oh, here we go. It's doing something there. Looks like it's still thinking. Yeah, still going. So I'm going to go into Gemini and I'm going to do the same thing. And I'm going to click on the deep research. Do I want to research with my own files? No, I just want to research that. Go ahead. And I'll let this go in the background. And one of the reasons that I'm just going to let it go, oh, I guess it can't help me at this time. Why is that? I even have Gemini Pro. Let's try it again. Okay, just a sec. And let's show the thinking. Looks like ChatGPT is still going strong over here. It's working through the steps, looking through various platforms to ensure I find the best method, considering IXL might be a better choice since BYJ used links appear inaccessible. I don't know what any of that means. Reading at Torito, pulling together resources to find the distributive property multiplication two-digit example. This is how the AI seems to think, I guess. It's still going. All right, let's see what direct multiplication, and I'm ready to present it. Well, that's pretty good. It's pretty good, Gemini. Let's pop down over here into Perplexity, and let me do the same thing with Perplexity. Oh, it automatically gives me the answer right there. But let me go ahead and click that. Now, I have a pro subscription of Perplexity because of a little toy that I bought that gave me AI called the Rabbit R1. So I'm using my free Perplexity Pro account, and let's see what it does. To find the product, 20 to multiply the two integers is, it says reference multiplication. That's pretty interesting. So we can use these ChatGPTs. I don't think it's ever going to get it. I might have to stop that. We can use these to try various examples. Find all possible fourth vertices of a parallelogram if three corners are at coordinates. Now, my kids can do this math. I can't do this anymore off the top of my head. I'd have to practice it. Same here. So I found decent examples to try. But let's go to something a little more complex. Now, the Tower of Hanoi is an interesting problem to try out. You know how to do it. You probably had one when you were a kid. And the once you figure out the details of exactly how to do this, you can do a tower of 3 discs, 4 discs, 8 discs. But a tower of 64 discs would take so many moves that you could never, ever complete it yourself. Oh, here we go. ChatGPT came up with some answers, distributive property, partial products. This is actually really fascinating. Good thing I'm running this live with you. So you can go through and see exactly what it's doing and why. I like that. Let's try this Tower of Hanoi. Well, you've done Tower of Hanoi. Let's try Knights and Knaves. I'll bet you haven't done this one. So the interesting thing about Tower of Hanoi, though, is even if you write the program, you could never solve a 64 tower. The computer would never get through. I think space and time might end before that problem could be solved. It's just too long. So let's take a look at this one. So this is Knights and Knaves. It's a another classic puzzle problem. The knights always tell the truth, the knaves always lie. So I'm going to put this in. Let's make a new one. I'll make a new, so it doesn't remember any math. I'm going to put this in. All right, take a look at that. Let's hit deep research and see what it comes up with. Uh-oh, unlock more with plus. Yes. Oh, it's really, this must be a new money saving problem. Yes. Please do that now. Okay. Great. That sounds fantastic. So let's go back over to Gemini and I'll tell Gemini the same thing. Let me make a brand new chat. I'll put this in and I'm going to click deep research. Now, while it's working, you'll notice that I have a Gemini Pro account in this example. Google offered anybody with an EDU account 18 months of free Gemini, at which point they're probably going to start charging my credit card $30 a month. So I have 17 more months to figure out whether I want to do this or not. So we'll go through and let's look at the details here. So I think with ChatGPT, because I'm on a free version, it's taking a long time to figure out these puzzles. We'll let that keep going. And it looks like Gemini's also taking a while. I guess I'll throw this in Perplexity while we're waiting. Oh, here we go. Something's happening. Now, this one's interesting. It's doing research websites, okay, analyzing statements. What I like about these research models is you can go into detail about what they're doing. Let's throw this into Perplexity while we wait. And we can look at the thinking of all of them. So it might not matter which one you use, especially, well, we'll move that off to the side for now. It may not ever finish if you're using the free one, but you can analyze your board games. So I have a couple of examples here. Piece placement for Stratego. This one is for Settlers of Catan. Something else I found is you can take a picture of your game. If you're playing a game, a card game, you can take a picture of the cards in your hand. Even if you're playing a very complex game like Magic the Gathering, you can take a picture and then ask a question. What's my optimal opening move? Which card should I discard? Something like that. It's really interesting to see the answers. Of course, Apple put a paper out recently that showed how these thinking models really can't solve all these problems, especially if you change them just a little bit, but we'll talk about that in another